Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and I'll be doing the FEDCO Teacher Grant Application walkthrough video with you. I work for Los Angeles Education Partnership and will be one of the administrators on this grant. This year, Los Angeles Education Partnership is partnering with the FEDCO Charitable Foundation to administer these teacher grants. And I encourage you to check out LEP's website to learn more about the scope and the breadth of the work that we do to support families and schools. I'm going to share my screen with you now so we can walk through the application. You'll most likely be getting here through a hyperlink, and you'll just want to click on this right here to open it. If not, it's really easy to get here. It's just www.laep.org. Go to News and Media, which will bring you to this site, and you'll open this up as well. So before we start, I'm just going to read this information out. The FEDCO teacher grants are awarded annually for LAUSD K-12 teachers and LAUSD authorized charter school K-12 teachers, specifically for educational field trips and experientially based lessons within their classrooms. The grants will be awarded to individual teachers in the amount of $500 to $1,000 and up to $2,000 for a team of teachers. We're looking at activities taking place in the spring. The applications will be accepted until November 16th, and teachers will be notified of funding decisions by January 31st, 2019. The funding available is limited, so we encourage you to be as clear and detailed as possible in your application. Also, I advise to plan to complete and submit the application at one time because it will not easily save. Once you submit it, a copy will be sent to your email for your records as well. There are 4 parts to this application. There's the teacher and school information, project description, timeline, and budget. And I'll go through each question with you. So this is where you'll put your first and last name. There's space for multiple grades and multiple subjects if you teach multiple. Please also make sure that your phone number and email are correct, since this is the way we'll get in contact with you. Like I mentioned, you can apply as a team. So if you do, please list the name and titles of the additional teaching staff that will be doing this project with you. You can input whether you received a previous FEDCO grant, yes or no, and in what year you received it. How many years have you been teaching? An estimate is fine. Write down your school name and indicate yes or no if you are a charter school registered with LAUSD. We're also collecting service planning area information, and to make it easy, we made a drop-down menu. So go ahead and select what area your school is from. For these next 2 questions, I have suggestions on where to look to find those. So for this first question, since Norm Day recently happened, you can take the number of students enrolled in school from that number. For this next question, there's a link down here to the California Department of Education DataQuest website, and we'll be looking at 1718 enrollment numbers. It's not a hyperlink, but you can copy and paste, and what will come up will be this. You want to look for school level information. Under demographics, you want to go to enrollment, click submit. And again, we're looking at 1718, type in your school name, and from here, it's pretty easy to look at the enrollment information. The next section is the project information. Later on in this section, there is a text box to be more descriptive, so go ahead and choose which the field trip or project, whatever you think applies best to what you're asking the money for. Put in the requested amount, keeping in mind the $500 to $1,000 for individual teachers and up to $2,000 for a team. Input the number of students that will benefit. Select grade level or levels that will participate. write the subject or subjects that will be studied, and here is a place to go into detail. Be specific and clear on what you're proposing. So in B, describe the project or field trip. In C, talk about the primary learning objectives, outcomes, and Common Core standards that the students will be learning. D, describe the lead-up activities that students will need to do in order to get the most out of this field trip or project. And lastly, describe how you plan to evaluate and assess student learning as a result. The next section is the timeline. So you're going to reference the project description section to answer these questions. Keep in mind that teachers will be notified by January 31st, 2019. And we're looking for implementation sometime in the spring. And again, these can be estimates. So when will the field trip or project described in B above take place? When will the pre-field trip and pre-project activities in D, evaluation in E? And again, you're just going to reference what you wrote down in the previous section. Estimates are fine in the timeline section. The last section is the budget. So we do want to know where you're planning to spend the money if you were to receive the grant. And broken down into different sections. So if I were to take a field trip, I would want to write down the amount that I'm planning to spend on the field trip, as well as a short description. So I need a school bus to take us from the school to the museum. We pre-populated different categories. You do not have to fill out every category, but we do expect you to have the total match the amount of what you requested. So if it doesn't fall into a category, throw it in the other and describe it over here. The last question is, did you watch the LAEP FEDCO grant prep video, which you're watching right now? Drop down yes. And go ahead and review your application for clarity, content, things like that, as well as your correct contact information, and press submit. Again, limited amount of funding, so we'll be looking at applications based on clarity and content. You won't automatically get a confirmation notification, so go ahead and open this. Right underneath here, it'll say thank you for your application. A copy will be sent to your email and the January 31st funding decision deadline. If not everything is filled out correctly, it will tell you that the errors have been highlighted below, so you can go ahead and fix those and submit. If you have any questions after watching this video, please contact Maya Donnelly at mdonnelly@laep.org. We look forward to reviewing your applications. Thank you for your time and good luck.